Officer Libretto arrived back on scene to find that the case that seemed to be only a possible missing persons minutes earlier was now a homicide.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
When the Kalamazoo Police were called out to a student apartment building on a spring night in 2018, they believed they were responding to a report like any other. A Western Michigan University student, 24-year-old Aniya Mack, had been out of touch with friends for a few days.
Pretty girl.
It was unusual behavior, though police found no signs of foul play, just oddities around her home that no one could explain. That is, until an unexpected encounter outside of her home that broke the case wide open and uncovered a shocking secret in the young student's life. Today's case begins with a routine, albeit worrying, police response to a potential missing persons report. But after that, it does not unravel in a way anyone is expecting. Let's take a look. In the early morning hours of Thursday, June 28, 2018, officers from the Kalamazoo Police Department responded to a call at the Hunter Ridge Apartments in West Michigan. The complex is composed of a multi-story, multi-unit apartment building with a parking lot. The building is off-campus housing. All of the residents are local college students. Officers were there to look for 24-year-old Aniya Mack.
Aniya is a pretty girl. What happened? What happened to Aniya? She looked like she was on top of the world, going to college. Let's see what happens.
Psychology major studying at Western Michigan University. No one had heard from Aniya since the previous Sunday. Aniya, as she was known by those close to her, was a social butterfly, always active and engaged in a range of activities. In high school, she was an honor roll student, on the Students' Council, in the Health Occupations Association, the marching band, the concert band, varsity cheerleading, volleyball, and softball. In college, she still sang in the church choir and danced with the WMU all-girls dance group.
Aniya was doing it. She was all over the place. She was doing it.
To be out of contact with so many friends for even a few hours, certainly several days, was extremely uncharacteristic of Aniya. Good friend LaQuenta Watson phoned police in Kalamazoo. She told them that she usually spoke with Aniya every day. When she hadn't heard from her after a couple of days, she grew suspicious. Calls went...
How do y'all let a couple of days go by and you don't hear from your loved ones, okay? Y'all better do that wellness check. Call the police station and ask for a wellness check. A couple of days, that's ridiculous.
Straight to voicemail. Her suspicions grew when she went to Aniya's new job at the Great Lakes Alternative Research Center, where she worked with autistic children. They told her that Aniya had failed to report to work 2 days in a row. She had only landed the position 3 months prior and was thrilled to have found the role. There was no way she would choose to blow off work unless something serious had occurred. Childhood friend Dominic Thomas met with police at the apartment building. After speaking with Aniya's mother, Loretta, in Louisiana, as well as LaQuenta, all three had grown increasingly concerned over their inability to reach her.
No. I am not about to sit around and not hear from my loved ones for days when I normally talk to them every day. No. Y'all need to be doing something.
It's unlikely
to just not answer the phone, it sounds like.
If anything is going on, I'm like pretty much the only person that she has here besides her family. But like me and her, we have been best friends for 24. I'm only 24, but we have been best friends our entire being, basically.
Wow.
I got friends like that.
And it's driving me real crazy that if anything was going on, she would call me. If nobody, she would call me. I know for a fact.
She has any medical issues?
No.
No psychological orders.
Did she take any medication for anything?
As of right now, not to my knowledge. I'm doing a heroin she needed.
Did she ever have any drug abuse issues?
No.
I mean, I'm not talking marijuana, that's almost legal, like harder stuff than that.
Officers learned that Aniya owned a white 2008 Malibu. which they spotted in the parking lot without a license plate.
Okay, this is getting strange. You found her car in the parking lot where it's supposed to be without the license plate on it.
Spot nearby was a second, nearly identical vehicle. That second Malibu had Aniya's plates attached, but was registered to a man named Gustavo.
How is it that the license plates were no longer on her car, but on an almost identical car in the same parking lot? What?
Both vehicles had 2 flat tires, and neither appeared to be drivable. There was a light on inside her apartment, and it appeared there was a television on, though no one was answering the door.
Roommate's room with the TV flashing.
So it looks like somebody is home at least.
Oh, maybe not. He's working on getting a phone number for a roommate right now.
6-1. Did you hear what I found out about the plates? Her car, her Malibu over there in the corner, the plate's missing off of it. I found it on another Malibu, a couple spots down.
That's strange.
It's not registered to her, which is kind of strange.
So they swapped the plates on the cars?
Yeah. There's a white Malibu that comes back to her by the VIN. No plate. The plate that belongs on it is on another Malibu. A few spots down, another white Malibu. Somebody else's name.
Gustavo fellow?
Yeah.
Hi, is this Cora? Cora, this is Aniya's best friend. Are you at home? Aniya has been missing for 2 days, to my understanding. I drove all the way here from Muskegon because yes, because the police are here as well.
Is she up there?
She's coming here. Okay, thank you.
Dominic told up.
So that's a friend. He drove all the way from somewhere else to see what's going on with Aniya.
Officers that Aniya had some issues in the past with her boyfriend, 25-year-old Donovan Lewis. Donovan, or Donnie as friends called him, was a former community college basketball player and YMCA lifeguard. He had recently returned to Kalamazoo after a short stay with his brother in Indianapolis. There, he had interned at a multimedia company, though now that he had returned to Michigan, Donovan had taken whatever job he could find. For the last week and a half, he had been working the night shift as a janitor at a large local manufacturing firm.
Have there been any issues with them that you know of?
Yeah. There's been several occasions that they went back and forth and had arguments. I know one time the police was called.
Say that.
So why isn't the boyfriend out there looking too? Okay, that's what I need to know. Where is he at?
Ever escalate the violence, really?
He threw water on her several times. He took off in her car when she came out. She was getting ready to talk to him. He rolled her arm up in the window like to drag her down the street.
Oh my God.
When Cora arrived to let the search party into the apartment, she told officers Lockett and Libretto that it was common for her and Aniya not to cross paths for days at a time.
Okay.
They had been assigned as roommates less than a year earlier, an assignment made by the organizers of the student building.
All right.
When's the last time you were here before?
This morning I came back from work around like 6 and I went to the movies and I came back here.
When's the last time you saw her?
Not before Saturday. I left home for graduation. I graduated Saturday.
You come in.
And then this is her room right here.
Okay, so they got hold of the roommate, and the roommate is going into the apartment complex. But she herself said she and Aniya barely saw each other.
But someone was here today because they turned on the air and they put some clothes in the washer. So when I was gone, like I thought maybe she came. But
Have you seen her boyfriend around here?
I haven't seen anybody, honestly. But I left for the weekend, so I thought maybe she just went home. But I really haven't seen her.
Nothing looks out of the ordinary in here. Obviously, boyfriend probably this
Let's
day.
Libretto, go check boyfriend's mom's place. Do we have a phone number for boyfriend?
I don't know if
Maybe his roommate.
there's probably one in the eyelids too, or from him.
Yeah, let's check with the roommate, see if maybe he's got something.
Yeah, where's that boyfriend? Let's find him. And why isn't he there? Okay, he's looking like a suspect right about now.
Okay.
Like if she was going somewhere, she would definitely pack her makeup. That's here. This looks like what would be her purse. A bag that she do her hair stuff with. That's here. Like
Boom. If a lady does not take her purse, guys, that is not a good sign.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
There was little sign of Aniya inside. A cursory search revealed no evidence to suggest that she might be in danger. But there were oddities. The bathtub in the bathroom used by Aniya was full of water, as if she had drawn a bath but never taken it.
Can you ask her to use the bathtub in here? Hey, Jerry.
What's up?
Can you ask her if she uses the bathtub? It's like full of water.
As Cora noted, someone aside from herself had been in the home. Someone had turned on the air conditioning unit and started a load of laundry. In the washer were men's clothes and two teal bathroom rugs. There were no mats in the bathroom that Aniya used, the one with the full tub of water.
Yeah, somebody definitely came in today for sure. Because when I left, the air wasn't on.
Does her boyfriend ever come over here and do any laundry or anything?
Yeah, they always do laundry together.
Okay.
So it's not like out of the ordinary.
Does he have a key?
I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody was here because I don't think he has a key. Usually, if he's coming, like I'll leave the door unlocked. Like if I know he's here, or like she'll leave the door unlocked.
I don't even see her keys.
Many of Aniya's personal belongings that she would have with her to travel were located in her bedroom. There was also the unexplained situation with the two Malibus she had been driving.
So all of her belongings are still in the apartment complex, along with her purse. Boyfriend still is nowhere to be found.
Neither appeared to be roadworthy. If Aniya had voluntarily left home, how was she traveling?
I think it's just a little fishy. He's the only person we haven't talked to.
Yeah, but why? She's gonna end up calling in the morning.
I hope so. Where the hell's she been at though? Both of her cars are here. Boyfriend has no car. Her best friend, her parents, her god sister, her pastor. She's been at work.
And from what other people have said, has the boyfriend been around her the last couple of days?
Well, he claims he hasn't seen her since Sunday either.
What about talking with her?
I don't understand this. Y'all haven't seen y'all loved one in days and everybody's cool with it. I don't get it. I do not get it. Welfare check.
Yeah, I need to get that from him.
Yeah, so she's been missing since Sunday?
Yeah, that's the last time I saw her.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Officers left the apartment with different impressions of the severity of the situation. They had failed to find any obvious signs of foul play, but there was a lot that was not right about the situation.
Do you think this is an actual?
An actual?
Like an actual missing person?
Well, nobody knows where she's at right now. She's missing.
Like, okay, well, I
do,
mean, like...
Do I think that she's endangered? No. Absolutely not.
Okay.
We've got nothing to lead us to believe that she's endangered other than the fact that boyfriend was an asshole at one point.
Is that just a dispute that you were talking about, or like a DV?
DV, but they didn't find him.
So evidently her and her boyfriend had got into it a couple of times. And the police had to be called.
I don't know. There's still somebody coming and going from the apartment. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
But like roommate hasn't seen her in almost a week. Doesn't think anything of it.
Donovan Lewis had been unreachable. What they knew from Donovan had been relayed to them via Aniya's friends who had spoken with him. Both Dominic and LaQuenta said that Donovan had also been trying to reach Aniya unsuccessfully since Sunday. Officer Libretto tracked down an address for his mother's home, which was subsequently visited. No one came to the door. After failing to locate Donovan at his mother's home, Aniya's good friend and godsister, LaQuenda, contacted Officer Lockett once again. This time, she informed him that she knew Donovan was finishing his janitorial shift at Stryker, the medical equipment company, at 3:30 a.m.
Yeah, why does the police have to be informed about that? They should have been went over to his job. Shouldn't be waiting on a bestie to be telling you that type of information. They should have been went to this boy's job to figure out, well, what's up? Where is she?
He would be returning to Aniya's apartment. Officers Aday and Lockett returned to the Hunter Ridge apartments once more that night to seek him out. Cora and Dominic had left. There was no answer at the door.
I guess we'll wait outside for a little bit, see if he shows up. I just feel like you'd be a little bit more concerned if your girlfriend's missing, don't you think?
Exactly.
That's the one person who hasn't talked to us all yet. So this is the other thing I thought was weird, but I think it's just plate fraud. That down here, the white car, is actually hers. But they're both on flats. So those cars have not moved recently.
What the fuck?
I know, this is a weird one, I'm telling you.
That person that you're talking to, what is that?
That's her god sister, like her other best female friend.
She thinks the guy's shady.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would somebody switch up the license plates? That don't make no sense either.
I tried to speak to mom. I gotta call mom back. Apparently she just called me back. Her other male best friend, who I think he's, on the other side of the fence. He hasn't seen her or heard from her. Her roommate hasn't seen her or heard from her since Friday because she was out of town all weekend.
Now, why did he have to mention that her other best friend was on the other side of the fence? Alluding to the fact that, I don't know. What is he trying to say?
What about, you got any friends for this suspect? The boy?
We haven't got that far yet to get into his friends.
Yeah, I feel like this should almost just be detectives.
Yeah.
At this point.
I definitely think this is detective worthy, like now. Because I think something fishy's going on here.
Exactly.
Something fishy. There could be nothing. Maybe she's out with a new boyfriend, but why was she completely cut off everybody, all her best friends?
The officer
Yeah, new boyfriend or not, you still gonna call your mama. You still gonna call your besties. What's that all about?
Officers were standing in front of their cruiser and discussing their concerns over the case when things took an unexpected turn.
Uh-oh.
A man wearing a black t-shirt, khaki shorts, and a backpack approached them from the front left side of the cruiser in the dark.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, sir?
Take me here and we talk about it on the way.
Just tell me now.
I killed my girlfriend.
6160. Can you come to the apartment, please?
He said, take me in, we'll talk about it there. I killed my girlfriend. Okay. This dude is off the chain.
Where is she? We're out with boyfriend. He's reporting at 10:35. Where is she?
She's in the creek.
She's in the creek.
Where at?
He's married. Dispatch.
You got any weapons on you, Donna?
I don't have anything, so.
You get pat down a little bit. Alright, I gotta read some stuff to you real quick, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you before or during any questioning. If you want a lawyer but cannot, tell me from the beginning what's going on.
In Indianapolis.
Well, he confessed that real quick. You know, just like, hey guys, I killed my girlfriend.
I left her alone. She couldn't pay rent.
Hey, give me 1 second, okay? 612.
She went to hair car note. So, my understanding.
Not sure if you record my last traffic. We got one in custody.
Fantastic. When I got back in town about a week ago, or 3 weeks ago, on the 16th, I found out, I went to her phone, and I found out they were messing around.
Whoa. So evidently, he said she couldn't pay her rent, she couldn't pay her car note, and he found some disturbing messages from her pastor, like they were messing around.
Try to get over it. Told her it's okay. I understand what you did. I respect that you took care of yourself. And we move forward. And we had a great couple weeks. And recently, Sunday, we had an argument involved because I just moved back, so I don't have a job. I didn't have the money. The week before, Sunday, or maybe 2 weeks, I don't know, she told me, you're not doing enough. I told her I could call my dad, ask for some help, and whatever, and she just basically bashed me, told me all of this shit, told me everything about me. Saturday, Sunday came.
Let's have a seat in the back of my car real quick, man. Yep.
So he's just spilling his guts. Evidently, she needed some financial help. He couldn't help her. He just moved in town. He didn't have a job. He told her, hey, I'm going to call my dad to see if he can help. But he found out that there's a possibility she was messing around with the pastor.
Hey, sit tight, okay? So he's straight up admitted to it, everything. He said she's out in the river on the east side of the city somewhere.
East side of the city?
Yeah. Like, what do you say, East Main or something? He told me. He knows. He didn't tell me that much yet.
Donovan Lewis was happy to keep talking, though officers preferred to have detectives assigned before they took the interview any further. As they placed Donovan formally under arrest and in the back of a cruiser, he continued to provide scattered details. Officer Libretto arrived back on scene to find that the case that seemed to be only a possible missing persons minutes earlier was now a homicide.
Is she in the truck one of these cars?
No. He told us that he's in creeks around the east side. So I'm thinking maybe on the east side of Kalamazoo.
In the creek?
In a creek.
Okay.
So, excuse me. He has put her body in a creek somewhere. Sad.
Well, that took a twist.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that way at all.
Officer Lockett was now the point of contact. He drove Donovan to the station and continued to make small talk with him while they awaited the arrival of detectives.
If he chooses to spontaneously utter things after the fact, then that's him. Okay? You've already told him twice now. And then, you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk, those kind of things. Okay? When you go back in, move his chair to the other side of the table. Okay?
So they're trying to figure out how they can get him to spill his guts even more, even though he done told it all. 5 seconds flat. He done told everything that happened to this young girl.
Just tell him I don't want you in that corner. I'd like you closer to me. My sergeant's going to know all about safety.
So stay where I'm at.
Stay where you're at. Keep him, put him over in that.
So they setting up that good cop, bad cop. That's what they doing right now. But he's willing to talk.
Corner so we can see him.
Okay.
But other than that, doing great, man. Just keep up this small talk.
When Lockett got Donovan talking, the 25-year-old made some surprising accusations. He explained that after going through his girlfriend's phone, he discovered inappropriate text messages from her pastor. He believed that the two were physically involved. He further claimed that since Aniya had been struggling financially, that she had been blackmailing the pastor while Donovan was out of state.
Please, Lord, tell me that's not what she did. I'm hoping. I am hoping that's not what happened.
Pastor had been paying her rent, her phone bill, and given her the second Malibu to drive.
Wow.
What's been going on?
Just had a rough week.
last week, the car had the pastor bound her. Back tire went flat.
Oh, is that what happened?
It was a slow leak, so you had to keep refilling it and refilling it. And then on Sunday, when we were on my family lake house, she wanted to go to church. She went outside and the front tire was flat.
Think somebody's doing it? Or you think the car's just old and the tires are bad, or what?
I don't know. Found out that whatever she got going on with the pastor.
Oh.
And when she got the car, she told me, the mechanic came to pick her up, and she told me, you know, she got a new car, like a loaner car from the church. Recently she told me after.
So she got a new car from the pastor, okay? And I'm sure the money came out the pulpit, okay? And I'm not sure if the pastor, of course he doesn't want this secret to come out, but it's obvious the pastor didn't kill her because this young man, her boyfriend, is saying that he killed her.
I kind of gave her, I told her I want to have a sit down with her because he ended up picking her up and apparently threatened her.
The pastor threatened her? Over the car, or why?
Because she was using him. She told him she would tell. He said, you can't do this to me.
How was he using her? Like they had a relationship or something going on, you mean?
I went through her phone.
Who's her pastor? What church she goes to?
Second Baptist, right there by the bus station.
Okay.
Pastor Stewart.
Shout out to the church, I guess. Shout out to that church. The pastor is sleeping with the congregation.
An argument had broken out at Aniya's apartment that Sunday, prompted in part by the ongoing tensions caused by her relationship with her pastor, Strickland, of the Second Baptist Church. The pastor, who was married, was also the local president of the NAACP.
Oh my
Aniya
goodness.
began attending his church at the beginning of that year.
And I went through her phone. She tussled with me about her phone. You know, she died on her phone. Kind of got in like a fetal position with all her knees in her hands and saw that I was a pastor. I saw what he said. And, you know, she kind of just gave up. And gave her the phone. And the whole time she was laughing. Grinning. When she gave me the phone, she was grinning and laughing. Because you know, okay, if I do make that accusation, she could have that reaction that she had. Just think about that after we find out it's fucked up.
Upon the arrival of detectives, Donovan Lewis offered a full written confession to the murder.
Wow.
Donovan wrote that Aniya's Malibu had continued to get flat tires. The pastor had paid to have the tires mended at least once. Strickland then offered her the second Malibu, which he claimed to own, for her use. It too began getting flats and became unserviceable. The pastor began coming by the apartment more and more frequently to collect Aniya. Earlier in the year, she had taken an all-expense-paid trip with him and other choir members to the pastor's native Mississippi.
The pastor is getting bold. Trips, cars, he's getting bold. He's a married man. He getting real bold.
According to Donovan, Aniya had admitted to him that she was using the relationship as leverage. After threatening to expose the relationship to his wife and others, Donovan claimed that Strickland had threatened Aniya. Around the same time he dropped off the Malibu for her to drive, she had allegedly said that the pastor made it clear that he was willing to hurt her.
Wow.
That Sunday, Donovan had been drinking. Aniya was running a bath. He claimed to be drunk and exhausted from lack of sleep, having stayed up all night going through her phone.
He looks like a mess, guys. He looks dog tired, and he looks like he's glad all of this is over.
One text from Pastor Strickland in particular had him incensed. The two began to argue. Aniya told him that she wanted him to leave for good. She got out one of his suitcases and began packing his belongings into it. That is when Donovan said he struck her, rendering her unconscious. He said that he then went into the kitchen, got a large knife, and returned to the bedroom and slit her throat and stabbed her.
Whoa.
He admitted that he then put a garbage bag over her head and put her into the suitcase. He placed.
So she was stressing out two men. She was stressing out the pastor. He didn't want his wife to know. And she was stressing out this boyfriend. He just moved there. He didn't have a job. He really couldn't help her. And she started cheating on her with the pastor. So in the beginning, it could have been either one of these guys. However, the boyfriend just admitted he killed her.
The suitcase in a dumpster outside of the visitor parking. The next day, in the dark, he retrieved it. Driving his mother's van, he drove out to Comstock Creek on East Main past Sprinkle Road. He left Aniya in a deep stream off of the creek, weighing the suitcase down with mud so it would sink toward the bottom of the water.
Wow.
She walks into a room and you know it's Naya, like all eyes are on Naya. Like it's just always been like that. She was supposed to start summer school yesterday and it's just like heartbreaking to hear like how it happened. She didn't deserve it. She always said, if something happened to me, I don't want everybody to be sad. I don't want nobody to wear black. I want everybody to be in bright colors. Trust me, I've been crying, but that ain't what she wants. She wants us to be as happy as possible and give her the best homegoing we can.
Aniya was living kind of foul, okay? Messing around with the pastor. She knew he was married. That's foul.
Investigators questioned some details provided by Donovan. In particular, they expressed some doubt over how the murder transpired, based on the lack of blood in the apartment. Responding officers failed to identify any signs that a stabbing had taken place. Upon closer inspection, however, small but identifiable stains were discovered in the hallway, on the edge of Aniya's bed, and on the bedroom carpet. Cleaning products already inside the unit had been used to clean other surfaces. Donovan had disposed of a mattress cover in the apartment dumpster, which had already been collected by the time law enforcement reached it. He had placed the bath mats in the washing machine and disposed of his own clothing at his mother's home. Aniya's personal belongings, her purse, ID, and bank cards, were thrown away in a bin near to his workplace.
Why in the world would he take his clothes to dispose of those to his mother's house, of all the places in the world? Jesus.
Only portions of this evidence was ever recovered. The physical evidence was not the only aspect of his story that the detectives sought to verify. Pastor Strickland told the Kalamazoo Police that Aniya Mack was simply a member of his congregation and the church choir. He was not having a relationship with her. Indeed, when pressed by detectives, Donovan conceded that Aniya had never actually admitted to an affair with the pastor, only that she was allegedly manipulating him for financial gain. Strickland stated that Aniya had recently traveled with him to Mississippi for a choir trip. While she was there, she met a young man with whom she was interested, and they started a relationship. He stated that since she had a boyfriend in Kalamazoo, she was hiding the relationship with the young man in Mississippi. According to Pastor Strickland, Aniya was doing this by hiding this young man's contact info in her phone under his name. He stated she did this so if her boyfriend saw the phone, he would think it was the pastor contacting her and would not be suspicious. Roughly a month after the pastor gave his statement to police, he contacted them once again. He wanted the 2008 white Malibu returned to him. The issue was that he seemed unable to prove that it was properly purchased. Strickland claimed that the car was his wife's, Jasminique's, vehicle.
Okay, guys, this took a twist. Okay, so evidently the pastor is saying he didn't have a relationship with her, and that Aniya had met a guy when they all went out of town. When the church went out of town, and she went out of town with the church and the pastor, she met a guy there, and she put that guy's phone number underneath the pastor's name. So when she got back home, her ex-boyfriend wouldn't be suspicious if the phone rang and saw the pastor's name pop up.
He had purchased it from a man, presumably named Gustavo, but had no title or bill of sale.
Hello, I'm looking to speak with Pastor Strickland.
This is he.
Hi there, this is Sergeant Charles Trepp at Kalamazoo Public Safety. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you, sir?
Not too bad, sir. I got a voicemail message from Chief Boyson saying that you had some questions about an automobile.
Yes, sir. One of the automobiles that was taken related to the Aniya Mack murder.
Yes, sir.
One of those vehicles belonged to my wife.
Okay.
And we are trying to recover it. We had actually misplaced the title prior to going out of town.
Okay.
And Aniya had reached out to us while we were out of town and told us that she had found the title.
Okay.
And that the title was supposed to be in the console, which I had looked in the console, I know 20 times. But anyway, she said that the title was folded up really small. So I'm thinking that this is going to be the car that you all find. It's the one that doesn't have any tinted windows or any rims on it. It's just factory.
Okay.
And in the console, you should find, I'm hoping that she didn't take it out or put it anywhere. You should find the title in the console. Like I said, I don't know how much information that the guy had filled out on the title because he gave me like a bill of sale, which had all the information on it.
Yes.
I'm curious to know, did the wife know that Aniya had that car?
But I misplaced that and the title.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Ownership of the car was never proven, and it was not returned to the pastor. This would be the least of the pastor's issues, however, when later that year he was accused by 3 teenagers in his church of sexual assault.
Oh my God.
He and his wife stood accused of using their positions in the church and at a local school to coerce teens into their bed. One victim reported feeling unable to refuse the pastor's advances because he really needed the use of the car that the pastor was lending him.
Pastor Strickland is here. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's been here throughout this. He remains pastor at Second Baptist.
3 different things: banging teens for sex, CSC, and pandering. Can Mr. Strickland or did someone respond as
no, and no? Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. Didn't do it.
But given your role at the church, is it typical for you to give teens, boys in the community money?
Well,
I don't know what he laughing about. I'm curious too. Is that typical for you as the pastor to do something like that?
There are a lot of programs through the church that help kids out.
But does Pastor Strickland personally give kids money himself?
I don't know of any situation where that has happened.
The Michigan State Police investigation into Strickland and his wife found that the alleged assaults took place between January and May 2018. Text messages and screenshots of photographs taken from the victims' cell phones supported their claims against Strickland. In February 2023, a plea agreement was reached. He admitted to using a vehicle to solicit prostitution. The pastor
and his wife are tripping. What happened to the church, guys? Church is different. Church is different now.
Sentenced to 1 year in prison.
That's it?
During that time within the county, did you knowingly offer to sell transportation services to TH and or TJ that facilitated travel for the purpose of engaging in what would be a violation of the laws governing prostitution?
Yes.
In a lengthy sentencing statement, the pastor continued to deny his guilt, explaining that accepting the plea was simply in the best interest of his family.
I'm not here today to be pious and to pretend as though I am innocent and without fault. However, I am not guilty of what I was accused of. I am glad that the 10 most heinous charges were dismissed, and eventually the prosecutors, with their backs against the wall, made a deal that I believe was too good of a deal to put my family through the risk of going through a trial. And I know that they'll use their imps in the media to try to pretend that they won in some way, or that this is some win for the prosecutor's office. This is not a win for the prosecutor's office, and it's certainly not a win for the cause of justice.
I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that guy. And guys, why are we still talking about the pastor when we know that the ex-boyfriend killed her? What's going on that we need to still talk about the pastor?
Donovan Lewis agreed to lead Kalamazoo Police to the location at Comstock Creek
There we go.
where he had left Aniya.
Yeah, this is where we need to be. The heck with the pastor and the car and all this kind of stuff. We need to be right here.
It's a little bit sloped right there. Now, Donovan, did you have her on this side of the guardrail first? In a suitcase, or did you bring her all the way down here?
All the way down.
All the way down here? Okay, so you wheel her in the suitcase all the way down here? Okay. And you park back up by where the...
So he's showing the police officers where he put her body. Like he said earlier, he put her in the suitcase, put mud in the suitcase so the suitcase can sink, and now they are at the crime scene.
SUV is? And how do you where the white truck is? 10 feet that way. And how do you get her in the water? You just threw her in the suitcase into the water. Okay, and this is the right spot? Okay, where do you want these guys to go? Straight. Straight down?
Switch sides. The sun's not in my
Sure, no problem.
An accomplished swimmer, Donovan had taken Aniya in the suitcase further down the creek and into the deeper, muddy water. Searchers were unable to wade into the stream and instead took a rescue boat.
We're on camera, guys. Yep, we're on camera.
So evidently, her ex-boyfriend can swim pretty good. So he was able to swim with her in the suitcase down a ways where she could not be found immediately by anybody walking on the highway or somebody who might, pull their car on the side of the road. They would not notice that suitcase.
Where are we headed? In there.
Well, I don't think we're gonna get in there. Okay, we're on camera.
Body cam.
We're on camera.
All right. Well. Are we gonna be able to get this thing back there, Terry?
No. We're looking to try to somehow get the rope to you guys, and then you're gonna try to get her out.
Yep.
Here's the rope bag. Tie that off on the boat.
Yeah. Oh, I could probably work the rope.
At 0920 hours, we have connected to the suitcase evidence. All right.
They found the suitcase. I feel sorry for the boyfriend. I don't know why I do, but I do. It seems like Aniya was doing some things she shouldn't be doing. Okay, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but damn, she was doing some stuff.
Want to get it closer?
But she didn't deserve this. This is for damn sure. This is crazy.
Pick it firm already? Yeah. Was that recorded?
Yeah, that's recorded. Yep. It just buzzed, but it was just a 4-minute buzz or whatever.
Okay. Now, when we get out, do we want to anchor that off of the back so we're not backing upstream?
Did it stick?
So we turn around. I think all the way out, and then probably hand the rope back to someone in the back. Yep. I'll tie you off.
If you really want to think about it, it took all these men to retrieve this suitcase, and that young guy, the ex-boyfriend, he put her there by himself.
All right, we're almost back out in the stream.
Hey, that tag is loose sitting on top of there. Just going back a
It's
little
just
bit.
laying there.
Tag? What tag? The luggage tag?
Luggage tag.
Oh, okay. Okay.
John, you want to pass?
I really feel sorry for her parents. I really feel sorry for her family, her friends. This is devastating.
Can you get that, Mark? You got it? And then I'll...
After recovering the suitcase from the water, investigators continued to search the small channel for the murder weapon, the black-handled butcher knife that Donovan had used. He stated that he had stuck it into the side of the creek very close to the suitcase. After removing several feet of vegetation, however, searchers were still unable to locate it. The recovery had been successful nonetheless. Aniya's family was able to lay her to rest.
Sad.
Giving to other people, being about other people, was her legacy and is her legacy. And that's what we want people to focus on.
We got a lot of love for everybody. Yeah. Oh, God.
Aniya was a person about other people. Aniya was about, mental health awareness. She was about autism research.
So Aniya, I don't know. I don't think she was sleeping with the pastor, but she did find a boyfriend when they all went out of town, and she put that new guy's number in her phone as the pastor's name. So when she got back home, if her ex-boyfriend was to see the phone ringing, it would ring the pastor. So the ex-boyfriend this whole time was thinking she was having an affair with the pastor, when in all actuality it was another gentleman. It wasn't the pastor. Allegedly.
Loved kids.
3 days before Donovan Lewis was meant to stand trial for first-degree murder, he was in the recreation yard at the Kalamazoo County Jail playing soccer with a handful of fellow inmates. After about 30 minutes of recreation time, he abruptly stopped kicking a soccer ball and bolted towards the fence. Donovan scaled 2 15-foot walls, climbed over security fences, one topped with barbed wire and the other topped with razor wire.
Whoa.
He then scaled a third fence separating the jail from the business loop. He was captured just over a half an hour later.
And it appears that he was able to just find a spot and get over it without injuring himself. The first level is a barbed wire fence, and the second level is razor wire. The person in custody was able to get over both of those. Then they went over the barbed wire fence that contains the business loop of I-94, and the jail jumpsuit was found approximately 100 yards south of that spot.
Donovan later claimed that he was not trying to avoid punishment for the murder. He said that he feared for his family, whom he claimed had been receiving death threats. No evidence for this assertion was put forward. He pleaded guilty to the escape.
Aniya, she didn't deserve this, guys. She was just a young lady, dating a couple of people. Nothing wrong with that. She's not married to anybody. And like I said, I don't think she was dating the pastor. Allegedly, I don't think she was, because the pastor is married. But this dating that she was doing took this young boy over the edge. I feel sorry for him, but Aniya did not deserve this.
Aniya's family was keen to avoid the trauma of a trial, and so in late 2018, the state agreed to offer Donovan Lewis a plea deal for second-degree murder.
I can't imagine the hurt that I've caused. I don't even know the beginning. I just want to say sorry to the family. That's all.
When I sentence you, Mr. Lewis, I balance the principles of punishment rehabilitation, protection of society, as well as deterrence. Particularly, you being cooperative, taking full responsibility, not minimizing your role in this, and expressing a level of remorse.
Exactly.
A decent education. There are a lot of good things here that you had developed over your life, Mr. Lewis, and you threw all of that out the window back on June 24th. Aniya Mack didn't deserve any of these things. She didn't deserve to be hit to begin with. She didn't deserve to be put unconscious. She didn't deserve to be stabbed and murdered. And her body didn't deserve to be treated less than garbage. And all of that happened because of you, nobody else.
Exactly.
Donovan Lewis was sentenced to 25 to 40 years in prison. He was given an additional 17 months to 4 years for his escape from the county jail.
How do you feel now with the sentence?
I feel good because my sister is okay with the sentence, and so I'm okay with it.
You spoke about forgiveness, not wanting to take pain for pain, but hoping that he can live with what he's done. Can you talk about that?
Well, he have to live with it for the rest of his life. You know, whether he was sincere with what he said in the courtroom or not, he has to live with it. And I hope he can. And I meant that. I haven't forgiven him. My sister, I haven't. And in time, I'm sure I will, but not now.
That is a hard pill to swallow. It really is.
Ready.
And talk about Aniya, because I remember when the story broke, everyone had beautiful things to say about her.
Clearly, she was one of the most loving people. She loved a monster, so that says a lot about her personality and her as a person.
Horrible. That's horrible.
I will keep your secrets. Just think of me of the pages in your diary.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.